Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. There is an orchestrated plan to disintegrate Azimio top brass into pieces ahead of the Kenya Kwanza and Azimio talks that will be led by the former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo. When you listen to the talk on social media, talk on TV, on radio, you realize that they have a plan to thwart these talks, and I believe from where I sit that these talks will not materialize into anything that is viable to Kenyans unless we approach it with a very new paradigm shift. Yesterday, Gachagua was talking to some of Kalonzo Musyoka supporters, and he purportedly revealed something that to me is only meant to serve a particular political goal. Rigathi Gachagua said the following: "Go and talk to your leader, Kalonzo. Do you know, even after we won, Ruto approached him to join our side, and he said no. He said that we should wait for the Supreme Court to make its decision. After they were defeated in the Supreme Court, he came back and we told him that he was late." The sentiments of Rigathi Gachagua alluding to some allegations that when they were declared winner by the Supreme Court, they had started buying off the Azimio members, the members of parliament and all the leaders. Others refused, others accepted their offer. And he said that they approached Kalonzo Musyoka because they wanted to leave Raila as a skeleton. The truth is, if you take away Kalonzo Musyoka with all the supporters and you leave Raila with the other leaders, he will be dented. Even though I know there are people who still support him, but you shall have left a dent. So he says that they approached Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo, in his wisdom, refused because they still had hopes that the Supreme Court would exercise wisdom in their ruling. And of course, later you heard of the wild goose chase and hot air, whatever. And he's trying to insinuate that after that ruling, Kalonzo ran back to them to join the government. And he says he told Kalonzo, it's late. I don't want to take sides, but having known the Kenya Kwanza team with all their lies, I want to believe that Rigathi Gachagua is lying. I know it is true that they approached Kalonzo Musyoka to join their camp, but telling us now that Kalonzo went back to them and they said it's late is not true. Because if you have seen the kind of effort that this government is putting to ensure that they buy every Azimio member, if Kalonzo had approached them, I'm sure they would have taken Kalonzo without a second thought. If Kalonzo had approached them, maybe telling them that I want to be the Speaker of the National Assembly or the Speaker of the Senate, for example, they would have accepted without blinking their eye. And let me explain to you the kind of support that Kalonzo has. If you compare to Amason Kingi, even if you are given, if you're in their shoes, you are William Ruto and Rigathi, and then Kalonzo Musyoka with the support that he has and Amason Kingi come to you. Because in politics, we are only looking at interest and numbers. Who will you accept? Definitely you will go for Kalonzo Musyoka. So there's no way Rigathi Gachagua can tell us that they rejected Kalonzo Musyoka. It can never be true. There was a time they were in a meeting in Machakos, and he revealed that they even tried to give Kalonzo the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And I want to prove to you why Rigathi Gachagua is lying to us. He said that Kalonzo Musyoka went back immediately they were declared by the Supreme Court. But then, when they wanted to form their cabinet, they went back to Kalonzo because their cabinet was formed much later after they had been even sworn into office. And so if you look at the talks, he revealed in Machakos that they wanted to give him the position of the Foreign Affairs Ministry, but he refused. And so this is a lie. But what exactly informed the decision by the Deputy President to say this? Because the timing is very significant. You can see that Kalonzo Musyoka is one of the people who will be leading the talks in the bipartisan, what we can call the bipartisan talks. And is a very key figure in Azimio. When you want to look at the leadership of Azimio, you will agree with me that Kalonzo is one of the senior most leaders in Azimio, owing to his experience in politics, the kind of support base that he has. I have said here over and over again that the reason why I salute Kalonzo Musyoka with a lot of respect is because I have never seen any member of his parliament, any member of his parliamentarians, those who support him, those from Ukambani, lining up in State House even to take photos. I have heard of people like Wavinya Ndeti, the governor, trying to align herself to the government. But I've never seen any, like it happened with people like Jalango and Sabina Chege. And this is why the reason I believe that Kalonzo is in control of Ukambani vote, something that makes him a person of interest. And so for Rigathi Gachagua to come in at this particular time, he wants to set Kalonzo Musyoka against Raila Amolo Odinga, against the other Azimio leaders. Because now he's trying to create doubt in the minds of Azimio members. That when the Supreme Court had ruled and we needed to stand together, Kalonzo went back and was begging for a position. And that is what he wants to do. Why come now? Because this thing happened about 9 months ago. Why come now and review something that we know that might not be true? He thinks that by saying this, then he's going to cast doubt. Because yesterday, I had people like Robert Alai crying for that ODM must be given the lion's share when it comes to negotiations. And Robert was saying that parties like the former president's party, Jubilee, and Gideon's Moi Kanu, are just a burden because they don't play much. And they have known, State House sat down with the intelligence and they know that there could be a crack and they want to chip in. And this is the reason why he's coming up with these allegations. But I've seen the way Azimio carries itself. I can assure you that it will remain intact because the way Raila is positioning Kalonzo Musyoka and people like Oparanya and Eugene and all that, there could be a possibility that Kalonzo might become the flag bearer. He might be given that mantle together with people like Martha Karua in the next elections. If at all, we will be there in 2027. Number two, this is a diversionary tactics. Right now, people are focusing on real issues, major issues that people want to talk about. The high cost of living, scrutiny of the servant, the last elections, reconstituting the IEBC officials, compensation to the families that were victims of police brutality in the last demonstrations. And so when you come up with such allegations, they know very well it might just grab the headlines so that people can, forget about the real issues that are pertinent to us. They might just want to confuse Azimio so that instead of focusing on what they want to go and put on the table, then they start wrangling among themselves and they start asking, is it true Kalonzo and all this? So they want this to so that Azimio can make a U-turn in the real issues. But this will not happen because we know Kenya Kwanza for what it is. Even before the talks began, Kimani Ichung'wah had started coming up with certain, what he called was a joint press statement. Something that later Azimio told Kenyans that was not true. It was their own agenda, copy-pasting what the Kenya Kwanza has always wanted, a letter that the president had written to the two speakers, and he wanted to hoodwink Kenyans that Azimio does not care about the high cost of living. All this approach, the intention, will not work because Azimio, I believe, is focused. And even if they try to hoodwink and confuse Azimio, Kenyans are very strong. Kenyans know what they want, and Kenyans shall not deviate from their focus.